There are two big problems with the moon. Spoiler alert, if you own Omega Speedmaster and you watch this video, you might like your watch less. The first problem is in the Moonwatch history. While Omega Speedmaster is an important watch in space, it's more kind of like a bronze medal winner. There are more important watches that achieved more in space exploration. So if you're a real space geek, you might want to look into these more important watches before you actually look at the moon watch. Why settle down at something that won a bronze medal if you can get something that won a gold medal in space exploration or a silver medal, right? And the second problem is in how Moonwatch wears. If you're a member of the human race on Earth, there is more than 50% chance then you will hate how Moonwatch wears on your wrist. You will get it and you will sell it. So keep watching. Today we are talking about the first watch in space, arguably the most important watch. So Soviet Union went to space first, and they use their own watches. So obviously the very first watch in space is a Soviet watch. In this video, we will be talking about evil country who has terrible leaders like Joseph Stalin and Vladimir Putin. The country that did horrible things when these watches were produced, and it still does horrible things today when it invaded Ukraine. And the very first man in space was Yuri Gagarin. Yuri Gagarin, on that very first flight into space, so he was wearing a Sturmansky watch. Like Sturmansky wasn't a brand that you could just like go buy in a store. So that was these watches, they're issued to you when he went to space as part of his uniform. The watch was given to him, kind of like they give you like your helmet, your socks, your watch. So they gave him Sturmansky Type 2, not Type 1. So Type 2 was given to him, so he went into space, he came back, and that's the glorious watch that was very first watch that was worn in space by the man. Now, why am I saying that it wasn't the first watch in space? I don't know if you know, but before Soviet Union was sending people into space, they were actually sending dogs into space and other animals actually, but dogs, and dogs were quite famous. So one of those dogs, so that's the dog's picture, named Chernushka. So Chernushka went into space and actually came back. But what's interesting about Chernushka is that there was this employee who wasn't a cosmonaut actually, like the dog was a cosmonaut. But what he did is he took his personal Pobeda watch and he strapped it into the leg of a dog of Chernushka. It actually, the whole thing was unauthorized, so he did it on his own initiative. And then Chernushka went into space, and Chernushka went back, and the watch was still on the par of Chernushka, and it was still running well. And actually, that employee got into trouble for doing such stunt because the Pobeda watch, it actually had his name engraved. But basically, that watch, that Pobeda watch, was the first watch in space. And that's the one which is the most important watch in space. One of these watches should win a gold medal for space exploration in space, and you decide which one. But the watch that should win a silver medal in space exploration is the watch that went somewhere cooler than just on a moon. So the very first watch that actually went into the outer space was, so what I mean, the watch wasn't just on a planet. The watch actually left a spaceship and it went on into the outer space for the first time. It was during the very first spacewalk that was done by Leonov, and that watch was Leonov's Strela. Very, very cool watch, and it's very, very interesting history how Leonov actually was timing his spacewalk using his Strela. And actually, that Strela was the only piece of equipment that didn't fail on his first ever spacewalk. Like, he almost died. Like, his whole chute ballooned. He couldn't get back into the ship. Basically, it's a fascinating story. But think about it. The watch survived the outer space, and that was the very first watch that did it. It's much, much cooler than just the watch that went to the moon, right? And there is also another very important watch in space, which is Bulova Accutron. I don't know, I don't have enough knowledge right now to talk about this. I'm probably going to make another video about that one. But that's also a very, very important watch in space. Problem number 2. Why do I say that the Moonwatch is not, it's not that much wearable? Okay, so let's say this. You're the member of the human race on Earth, right? So let's say you are a man, right? You're a man, you have large wrist, Moonwatch works great on your wrist, right? Now, if you're a man and you have an average wrist, so now something like people who like vintage watches, they might argue with you, but if you're a modern consumer, you will say that Omega Speedmaster wears excellently on my wrist, and I'm not going to challenge that. Let's say if you have average wrist, then the Moonwatch works on your wrist. Now, if you're a man and you have a small wrist, that thing is horrible. That thing is like absolutely unwearable for you. So look, I have a 6.25 inch wrist, which is a small wrist, right? So here's all these pictures of me trying different Omega Speedmaster Professionals on my wrist. It wears horrible. My wife said it wears horrible. The Omega employee did not say anything. What did you want? He wants to sell watches, right? But he did not say that, oh, this is so great, like he tells other people. So, if you're a man, you have about 33% chance that Omega Speedmaster Professional will wear horribly on your wrist. But now, let's not forget women. Women are like half of the human race on Earth. And it's almost impossible to find a woman that Speedmaster wouldn't be too big on her wrist. Take a look at the host of this Japanese channel about watches. Very stylish woman, and she has this like hockey puck on her wrist. She's that's not her watch, she's just trying. But look how horribly it wears on her wrist. So that's why I'm saying Speedmaster is not for everybody. It's probably not for most people on Earth. Now I get you all excited about these important and cool watches in space that are more important than Omega Speedmaster. But there is a moral problem. Like, should I own or should I wear watches from this like horrible country, which is aggressor right now today? So please watch this video where I'm sharing my opinions on the topic. Should you be wearing Soviet watches?